start by saying first, thanks for coming. I thought that this was a really physical game. I'm proud of our team. A couple of things. The way we kept our composure with very physical play. The other thing is finding different ways to win and gaining momentum as the end of the season came. We had a goal. It was to win the 4 games and put ourselves in a good situation. I'm going into the Big 12 tournament, so I'm really proud of how we've been able to do that and end our season. And also, I think ASU is a good team. I think they're scrappy. I think they have some really good players, and one that we did not have an answer for. Not only Skinner and Brown, but Parkinson was a beast today and played really good. So I'm very happy she's graduating, isn't she? Well, it's funny because I said to Skinner, "Oh, I'm glad we don't have to see you anymore." And she said to me, "I have another year." I said, "You're joking." I hope she was joking, but I think she was serious. She said, "No, seriously." I was like, "Oh, damn." But she's a really good player.
So with Colorado's loss, you finished in the top half of the conference. So what does it mean with your young team to do that?
Well, the first thing, that comment stings because I'm used to, I'm such a competitor, so to come to the point where, you finished in the top half is hard, obviously. We're a young team, but with our personnel and our experience and kind of where we are right now and who we are, I'm proud of that. I think it's a good accomplishment. And if we go to the tournament with this team, I think it's a really big accomplishment. And our players have grown so much every year. So I'm proud. And the thing about tonight, Sky did not play well. Brea didn't play her best game, and we still found ways to win. And Katarina came out and has not played really all year and played a really good game. So I love the fact that different people are stepping up at the right time and finding different ways to win.
You guys made 15 three-pointers tonight. That's a season high. Were you worried as that was kind of playing out that it was a little bit of fool's gold and that they just keep chucking?
Absolutely. So three-point shooting has not been our strength. There's been some games that we've been hot, but at first, looking at halftime, I was 15, but I think we were 8 for 15 in the first half. And I was like, okay, but you don't want to live and die by 3. That's not who we are. But
in progress.
I thought Lauren came out on fire. And Isis is always hitting one. Jada hit a couple. It just was contagious. And the funny thing is, who's one of our best three-point shooters, plus stats and efficiency, is Sky. She's almost 50%. I don't think she hit one. I think she was over 4. So usually she's hitting some. It would have been even higher. So I'm very, very proud of that. And they sat in the zone for 40 minutes. And usually we do not play well against the zone. We get zone, we get stagnant, we jack up shots. So really good. And one of the players that really sparked us was Lauren off the bench, and then going into halftime, that was a huge play. So the freshman, good job of her stepping up.
Coach, it's Adia Barnes, Florida State Press. You mentioned how scrappy this ASU team is.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me how tough it is for them to compete in the Big 12 tournament, even though they showed their potential this afternoon?
I think it's tough to compete and win games this time of year. It's just hard. It's physical. I think they're scrappy and they have 2 really good scorers. And I think tonight Perkins was that 3rd scorer. But I think they're a physical team. I think it's hard to win games. I think it's a new season going to the Big 12 tournament, so anybody can win at any given night. And I think they're going to play Houston, I believe, right? Yeah, ASU will play Houston their first game. Or they won't.
Houston was called
Cincinnati, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that every game is winnable, and I think that if you look across the country this time of year, it's a really interesting time as a head coach. So you're coaching your team, you're trying to get your team motivated. They don't know what's next, and this generation doesn't do well with the uncertainty and not knowing what's next. So they don't know what's next. And then some players, if they don't play, they're thinking about the portal because the portal opens. So it's just a weird time, and that's why you see national upsets right now. So I think keeping your team focused with a reason to play is challenging. Everybody's been in that situation. So I think ASU can go in and win some games in the Big 12 tournament. I think so.
You knew you were going to be either 8th or 9th. By virtue of being 8th, you get an extra day off.
Huge.
What is the advantage of that?
That's huge for us. So, it's funny because I didn't want to talk about the other game before our game, but they were all whispering. I heard them, and they're not supposed to have their phones, so I don't know how that happened. But I think that just keeping staying in the moment and worrying about yourself is the most important thing. For us, it was we wanted to win those 4 games, and because we felt. Remember, I said 4 games. But I said we felt that this part of the Big 12 season was more favorable. I thought we played the really top-heavy teams early, and then we had a more favorable schedule. So that was what we could control. And I told them new season, so we were 4-0 in that season. And then now it's one game at a time. Anybody can win. And I think us resting one day is huge for our personnel. Monte is going to be out for the rest of the season. We have a short bench. And so it is what it is. So we have to play different people. And I think I have a lot more confidence today because Katarina stepped up and filled some big shoes and played in place of Monte. And so the extra day is important for us.
Did you get new information about Montea since the last time we talked?
Yeah, we have some new information, but we're still not for sure. We don't know a timeline yet, but we do have information. She'll be out.
Do you think your team wins its best basketball heading into the Big 12 tournament?
Well, watching that whole game, I wouldn't say best basketball, but I think we're playing pretty good. I think we're shooting the ball well. I think that we've improved a lot in this last month, and we're finding different ways to win. So we're taking punches, but we're not giving up. We maybe do something bad, but we're adjusting better. So I don't know if I'd say best basketball, but I think as a coach, your objective is your team not to hit that wall, especially like with a young team. You don't want to hit that wall in January, February. And then as a coach, your job is to get your team playing the best in March. And I think that we are playing better than we played before. And I think we have momentum going to the Big 12 tournament, so I'm doing my job.
Coach, when you talk about tournament play too, obviously you just saw ASU fights, but then when you see these teams a second and a third time, for a young team, it's a challenge and you to not make them press so much as they see a team for the third time.
Well, the first thing is I didn't necessarily want to see Houston again because Houston played awesome against us, and we're lucky we won that game. We pulled it out at the end, but they outplayed us for 35 minutes. I think for us, like, whether we would have played Houston or not, we were still going to play Colorado probably. And I think that's going to be a tough game. That's an important game for both of us. So for me, you have to go win the games you're supposed to. Like, we had to win today. If we didn't win today, we don't deserve going to the tournament, right? It is what it is. Like, call a spade a spade. So we've done that. Now we're putting ourselves in a good situation so we control our destiny. So can we step up and beat Colorado? They're good. We don't feel like we played well at Colorado. Colorado's a really hard place to play, and they play phenomenal at home. But now it's a neutral site, so we have to be able to step up and handle business. Otherwise, we don't deserve that. So I think if we do that, and same with Colorado, is that we both have a chance to go to tournament probably, or one of us does. So I think we just have to do our jobs and we control our own fate.
So senior night and then rivalry game to end the regular season, both high stakes and emotional games.
And it was a hard game. It felt like a tournament game.
Can you talk about Isis Bates' leadership through these last couple of games of the season, just what she's meant?
Yeah, Isis Bay has been huge. She's been one of our most efficient, our best players. She also has been valuable off the court in the locker room as one of our captains and leaders and a mother of the team because she's like a lot older than everybody. She's like 6 years old. And so I think she's just been so valuable. And just to watch her grow into that role, she couldn't have done any of this off the court or on the court like she's doing this year. So I like that. Like as a coach, like those are rewarding moments, and you get to see these aha moments where she's playing well. She's on the dean's list. I mean, last year was not like that at all. But to see that 180 is just good because it means that I had an impact on her, or our staff had an impact on her. So I think that's important for me.
It seemed like a lot of people were coaching up Katarina during the course of the game.
Yeah,
I
we
said
gotta coach her up 'cause we
Jada
need
was
her.
talking to her, you were, Salvo was. What was the message? that
Some
you
of
guys
it were
were
yelling
trying
at
to-
her, but no, I think some of it, like, to have her back, like it just, we all know. She's put in some situations that are harder. Remember, she was a 3. They've moved her to the 4 because we thought she has better matchups. She can be a really good 4. And then there's some actions in the game, but then we have to remember she's at the 4 sometimes. So some of it, she was doing some actions wrong. So they were on her, and some of it's a language barrier. So some of it's quick and she's got to translate in her head. So sometimes she'll miss stuff. But then we corrected her and she made those adjustments. So I thought she played good though. She was guarding Kennedy Basham sometimes. I mean, she hit the 3. She was rebounding. She was tough inside. I think she really stepped up. And that's not easy to do when you hadn't played the whole year. I mean, she's played a couple games here and there. Last game she didn't play a lot of games before she played. But then the whole season she hadn't played. And so I think mentally that's hard for a player to stick with it and still have confidence. And she does have the confidence. And you have to remember Katarina, so not only as a freshman, but like she hasn't played basketball that long. She was a phenomenal soccer player. So so basketball is new, so she's behind what most of the players are. So I think her ceiling is really, really high.
Coach, you touched on the depth scoring. Can you go into more detail about the scoring numbers up and down your lineup?
Yeah, so when we play our best, we had more balanced scoring. So, I mean, I thought I would have liked it to be more balanced than today, but like 4 players, 1, 2, 3. So 3 players in double digits and 3 players almost in double digits. That's good. But when we played our best games, we've had that. But I think more impressive to me is Rhea played 19 minutes, but she really could not. It felt like she played less. And Sky did not play a good game. Sky should play like 35 minutes for us, and she's one of our best defenders. So to be able to win, and Jada in foul trouble. So like that is more impressive because other people had to step up and they're in situations they're not usually in lineups that we don't usually play. There was one lineup out there that we've never played together. I think it was JR gave us a couple good minutes. JR, Katarina, but that combination has never played together. I didn't think I'd ever go to that combination, but so we don't have analytics for that. But it is what it is. That's our short bench. So I'm proud of the people stepping up and filling shoes, and we needed to offensively and defensively. I mean, Skinner's really hard to guard. Paulina had to play the one with a lot of pressure for 20 minutes of the second half, 20 minutes of the second half, and then she had to guard Skinner and Brown. I mean, she wouldn't be able to do that a couple months ago. So I'm proud of her and how she handled it. And I don't think she turned the ball. I don't remember her.
She did.
Yeah, so for her to do that, have 5 assists, 0 turnovers, actually I'm gonna celebrate that in the locker room because that's a huge step for her. With pressure, she did in 38 minutes. She played phenomenal. So, and I was looking, I was like, she's dying. I was like, you okay? She's like, no, but I moved her off the ball and put Jada in. She was like, thank you. I was like, it was just kind of cute. It was funny.
Last question.
So, you talked earlier about how the 3-point shooting hasn't been a strong point for you guys this year. What led to the difference tonight? Was it something that the ASU
I don't know. With young kids, it could be the way the sun rose. I don't know. I mean, it could be what they ate. If they ate Wheaties this morning or drank their coffee or didn't do. I don't know. Like it is. Some games we've been hot. Some games we've been cold. But like players are just like, you never know. And think about it, Skylar Jones is one of our best 3-point shooters. She's like almost 50%, and she didn't shoot the ball up. So I think that's pretty impressive. But I think to be able to show up in an important high pressure game that you're supposed to win, that you know you're supposed to win, that you find out before the game, the team that you wanted to win won. I think all of those things mentally for young teams are. And so I'm proud of the way we came out despite all those distractions. So that's good.
What'd you think of the crowd?
I thought, well, our crowd was great. I think we had probably more fans. But we brought 3 buses up here. Hopefully there's no alcohol in those buses because they were rowdy. No, I'm just kidding. But 3 buses out here, really good. And then we had a send off. So they all came to the hotel. I mean, I don't know how many was it, like 180 people? All came to the hotel, rallied us. I thought that was really cool. And that's meaningful for us because it helps because they were very, very loud. So that gives us momentum and it ignites us when we're not playing well. So really good, cool. And I want to thank all the fans actually. Thank you so much for bringing 3 buses down to Tempe. You guys helped us. We wouldn't have won without you.